He did the Monster Mash.
The Monster Mash.
It was a graveyard
He
smash.
did the mash.
Welcome to Bridge 9 Podcast, Episode 2, the Spooky Halloween Special. I'm Tyler.
I'm Brian.
Schultz.
Your name is Schultz.
His name is Schultz.
They're both those things, so sure.
I'm Ryan.
Welcome.
Hello.
Spooky. So, yeah, when this comes out, it'll be a Halloween, October 31st.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
Party at my place. Everyone is invited.
Bring your
Come on down.
bring your food, bring your candy.
You know where I live.
Hit 'em up.
Basically, you can go if you know where he lives. So,
Yeah, well, here we are again, back again. Bridge 9 Podcast. First one was a hit.
Oh, it was a hit.
Wow.
Gold star ratings.
5-star ratings.
Everyone loved it.
Kids are eating it up, you know? We're just we're raking in the cash
Making
over here.
a lot of money.
Yeah.
sponsors rolling in.
Yep. So that's where we're at right now. So let's hit it off, you know? Schultz and I, as we talked about last week, we're at the Oneonta. Am I saying that
Oneonta?
wrong again?
As Ryan says, Oneonta.
Oneonta.
One Winota.
Oneonta.
Oneonta.
Oneonta Punk Fest, Volume 1. It was all right. It happened. I mean, that's more than most people can say.
It was a thing
for
that occurred.
for a thing they try to do, right?
Yeah.
I think all things considered, it was cool, and I mean, yeah. Let's talk about it a little bit.
Had its ups.
Had its ups, it had its downs.
Definitely had its downs.
I mean, let's start off with the
The drive there.
the drive there. You and I both did not get any sleep the night before.
Right.
Zero
So,
sleep.
Loden was recommended to be at, 10 a.m., 11 a.m.?
Something along those lines.
And the night before, Trevor was hanging out with a friend. I was going to see...
Trevor. All right. Do we need
Tyler.
The joke is that his name is Trevor, but his name's not actually Trevor. It's Tyler.
Okay.
But we're going to call him Trevor, and we're going to call Schultz.
We're going to call him
Schultz.
Schultz. Schultz is Schultz.
But I'm just me.
All
I'm
right.
just me.
That's some pretty important context, I
Schultz,
suppose.
Trevor, Ryan.
Like, people listening, who the fuck is Trevor?
The characters changed
It's
throughout the
just so
podcast.
natural for me to say that now. It's what I
All right.
call you.
So, no
even-
hours of
I don't
sleep.
even realize it
No
anymore.
hours of sleep. We start the drive. It's about a 4.5, 5-hour drive. It's easily 5 hours if
Yeah.
you have to stop at all, which we did. So, no hours of sleep. We start this drive. Schultz drives first. We're so
was
exhausted.
rough.
We're so exhausted. Schultz, I'm half asleep, and Schultz just pulls
I'm
off
kind
the
of
highway.
half asleep driving too, honestly.
That's good.
It
That's
was,
good to know.
It was dangerous. So at one point, I just had to call it. I said, all right, we're going to pull into this rest stop. We'll nap for a few minutes. We ended up passing out for 45 minutes until the sun came up. By the time I woke up, I realized it was full-blown daylight. Like 7 a.m., I was like, oh, we better hit the road now.
This was impressive, though. You woke me up by saying, as soon as you woke up, I woke up, and you managed to open your eyes and say, all right, well, I guess we should go, and you just turned the key and left. Like, you were
Yeah.
sound asleep, and you managed to just wake up and start driving immediately. I thought that was impressive,
Thank you.
a little bit scary.
Had to
too,
do what
I
we had to
guess.
do. But even like the last hour or so of my shift there was still a struggle.
Yeah, it was rough.
I had a Death Cab album on. I'm like struggling to stay awake. But
Yeah.
I got through
okay.
it. Didn't fall asleep driving.
Why
But-
listen to soft, boring music then? Don't you want to stay awake?
Hey, should have listened to
Death
something
Cab is
aggro.
compelling.
Compelling.
I don't know, it felt like a good
Compelling to put me to sleep.
narrow
Maybe.
stairs. Felt like a very appropriate morning dawn.
Yeah, but you need to be woken up abruptly. You should have put on something hard,
Could've put on
heavy.
Earth Crisis.
Yeah.
That would have been
I
sick.
don't really like Earth Crisis.
Wow.
Oops, we'll have to bleep that out. Oops.
But continue.
All right, so we switched after about 2 hours. I started driving, and it was whatever. We got there. Schultz napped for, so we probably got about an hour and a half total of sleep each on the way there. Showed up at 10:30. We were one of the first vendors there.
Definitely.
I think. So the way it was set up, there was the venue with the theater, which was cool. It was a big place, nice place, and there was, at least on the first floor of this venue, there was no room for vendors or
So we were told.
yeah, or merch for any bands really, except for one. I think the headliner.
Sheer Terror had an inside spot. So
The headliner each night was able to have an inside spot on the first floor. So we were in the parking lot of, I don't think it was even the parking lot of the building the show was at. It was actually the parking lot of like this church or doctor's office, I think. So it was a small
kind of a
rectangular
shared-
parking lot.
parking lot between the back of the venue,
Yeah.
I guess.
But either way, it's late October. This was upstate New York, right?
Yes.
So, upstate New York, late October. We're outside for 12 hours.
It's a little chilly.
It was getting a little chilly when the sun came out on when the sun was at its peak around like noon, 1 o'clock. It was okay.
It actually, I remember the sun was really strong about like 3 o'clock.
Somewhere in like
it was kind of
early
nice
afternoon.
It's
It was
actually kind of
okay.
nice out for a short amount of time.
But for the most part, it was kind of chilly. So
Yeah.
it was rough, and we were also exhausted. So the day dragged really bad. Not because of anything other than just we were so tired and cold, and I don't know. It was.
if you were picking up some stuff from the table, you might have seen me falling asleep in that chair.
I think we both dozed off a little bit at one point, but it was cool. I mean, it was actually just a coincidence, but it worked out cool. We were sandwiched between Rude Awakening's table and Backtrack's table, so we kind of had our own little like Bridge 9 corner going
Yeah.
on. So that was cool. We talked to the dudes from RA, their merch guys, nice dudes. Shout outs to them. That was cool. Did we talk? I don't even think Backtrack wasn't really at their table a lot.
Not
they
too
were
much.
they were
Said
out
hi to
doing their
Ricky and
thing.
Vitello,
Yeah.
and
So, but it was cool. It was a nice little setup, but it was just I think it was tough for people to find where we were. Not us, everyone that was doing
there was
like
there was like
tables.
a handwritten sign on the end of the alleyway pointing to where merch was, but
But at the same time, if you left the venue, you'd probably walk the other way to go to like the downtown area.
yeah,
you
I
know,
have no idea.
So, whatever. The first day, it was a little bit slow, at least for us. But it was cool. I mean,
And about 7 o'clock.
well, let's talk about. Let's walk down. Let's go. like-
Memory Lane.
Yeah, Memory Lane a little
Take
bit.
a little stroll down.
What was the first band you saw?
Oh,
that
on
day?
Saturday. Oneonta. Who did I
Was it
watch
RA?
first? I watched a little bit of most. I think I watched all of RA.
Was
yeah.
that the first band you saw though?
Yeah,
Who did I watch anybody on Saturday? I watched Harm's Way. That was a little bit later in the day.
yeah.
I watched Harm's Way. It was tough because there's only two of us there. Where, as in, like when we were at
This is hardcore.
This is Hardcore.
We
There
have 3
were
people. We can take shifts and all kind of
four.
watch some bands.
There was 4 for the first 2 days because
Yeah.
Chris was with us, so we could kind of see whoever we wanted. There was usually always somebody that was willing to hang back. But yeah, so it was pretty much we had to be kind of dedicated to watching the table this time.
Yeah.
But it was cool. Caught a couple bands that day. But outside, the whole day, cold. And it was overcast for most of the day. And of course, I actually remember what's the singer of Reign Supreme's name? Do you know?
I don't remember. His
Well, they
name.
had their table set up from us, but it was getting a little bit dark at this point, and you might have been, you were actually inside. You just went
Okay.
inside to watch Backtrack set, and he just got up from behind his table and made an announcement that it was about to start raining. So maybe did you think about packing it in?
Rain goddess.
And apparently,
Rain
he's got the best weather app in the world because literally within a minute it started to rain after he made this announcement. He started packing all his shit in, and everybody did. And like, luckily we had a tarp, so I kind of had to wait for you to go get the van or whatever. So I
Yeah.
threw the tarp over it. Started pouring, and it sucked. And
Kinda had to call it a night
Yeah,
at that
we
point.
pretty much called it a night. There was a couple bands we wanted to see. I wanted to see Damnation AD. Didn't get to because we had to pack it in, and
Yeah.
I was soaking wet, so we just decided to bounce. Went back to the hotel. Hotel was kind of interesting.
Hotel was this weird, like,
Was
sort
it?
of.
It wasn't Charlie's, right? Or,
It was Christopher's
Christopher's.
Restaurant and Tavern. It was kind of themed with like outdoors
Yeah.
and wildlife.
there was a giant bison head on the
Lots
wall.
of bison heads and deer heads on the wall.
Great
So
for
it's-
vegans.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So we didn't bother indulging in the restaurant fare too much
No,
at all.
but the room was
The room was
cool and kind of weird too.
Yeah, kind of motel-y, where
Yeah.
you just walk in, your beds are right there.
And we opened up the entertainment center where the TV is, and I didn't
The TV
see it
is-
firsthand.
the
I
TV
just,
was laying flat on its back. And I was
The-
like,
the
so where's the
stand
TV
had
stand?
broken.
There's no TV stand on it. Great. So I
Perfect.
kind of just propped it up into the back of the dresser, and Trevor and I fell
Yeah.
asleep watching Hocus Pocus.
Well, we were before that though. We wanted to get food because we hadn't really eaten most of the day. You had gone to that weird health food store, and that was cool.
That was
but
great.
I wanted to go to that
Tempe
funny jerkin lube or whatever it was. What was it?
Soda jerks. Soda jerks at Action Lube.
Jerk and lube.
Soda jerks. The garage, the mechanic slash restaurant.
We were
And,
pretty excited for this.
Schultz fucked it up.
You
I
kind
didn't
of
fuck it up.
But we could have gone earlier. And
I
maybe
hadn't-
someone could have gotten like takeout or
Yeah.
something.
Well, this was a diner, but they closed at 6 o'clock on Saturdays.
I think because
which
they're a
is
mechanic
crazy.
though. because they're a mechanic, that's probably.
But you'd think you'd close the body shop or
maybe
body mechanic.
Maybe it's one and the same, so much so that they can't
They're
do
so
that.
intertwined.
Should have Googled that shit, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I told you
Google
before
it.
we left the venue, maybe you should check if they're open.
I thought it was a safe. I mean,
Safe bet. No,
It was
There
a
ain't no
5
safe bets in life.
it's not
my
like it
friend.
was a huge out of the way drive.
But-
At least
I think that's kind of set the tone for the rest of our restaurant experience, realizing
Yeah.
that even though this was a college town with kind of a cool downtown area,
villagey type.
yeah,
vibe.
like a relatively urban downtown area, apparently everything closes very early and then doesn't open back up on Sundays.
Yeah. This diner
Very-
was totally closed on Sundays.
Yeah,
Ever
so
go to
that
a
wasn't
diner that
open.
closes on Sundays.
And then we, so we slept,
Very
Pretty well,
About
yeah.
11 hours.
except you shut the
Yeah.
TV off and I couldn't sleep.
Apparently,
after that.
Tyler cannot fall asleep without the TV
I
on.
need it. I love that. The
I was-
radiation on my skin, it feels good. It soothes me.
It's a bad dependency.
I like it. It feels good.
How do you think like cavemen fell asleep?
TV.
They have to keep the TV on.
There's always been TV.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
always been TV somewhere.
Come on.
Yeah.
Come on, don't
Di-
be weird.
Dinosaurs watch TV.
They invented fire as a
As a means?
a replacement for TV,
Of course.
a means to an end.
Yeah.
So whatever. Yeah, we slept. It was pretty good. We woke up and we went to go get breakfast. We found a place that had a vegan tofu scramble. It was pretty good. We waited in line for way too long. I almost walked out immediately.
Yeah. Until I finally realized the chalkboard just said, "Please seat yourself."
So we sat ourselves, and it was okay. And then we went to the gig again, day 2, Sunday. And
Far better experience.
at least before we showed up, though, we were kind of fretting because it was raining at that point, pretty much.
Yeah.
And
No one's outside in the original merch area.
so we thought,
There's a bunch of wet
Yeah.
tables.
yeah. So we just thought, like, either you can't do merch or you have to just commit to being outside in the rain all day. But luckily, we were able to get. We had a second floor, like a second stage that was a little bit smaller, and
Weird little theater room.
yeah, they set up merch there. If you were there, you get the gist. You probably saw it, and it would have been nice to be there both days because I think everyone would have done a little bit better, because it makes a little bit more sense. It's
Yeah.
in the building. You can just walk upstairs.
And the signs were very clear. They put like
Yeah.
merch signs up the stairs on.
And it was just more
front of the
comfortable
venue
for
doors.
everyone, Like you don't have to
Oh,
worry
yeah.
about when it gets dark out, not having
We,
light.
we were able to
whatever.
charge our phones, which was great.
Classic benefit. But yeah, so that was day 2. Day 2 was at least for us, I think, a little bit better.
Yeah.
'Cause at least
Attendance
we were
was a little bit
inside.
stronger as well.
See, that's what everyone was saying. I didn't notice attendance.
Well, you
being
did,
that
also
much
didn't
better.
go to the other venue, Gallagher's.
I didn't go to the other venue at all.
That
so.
at times seemed to have as many people in the room as there was
True.
at the main venue.
But overall, it was cool. I mean, to be fair, it was definitely underattended. I mean, I thought the lineup looked great.
Great
I think
names.
there were a lot of big bands and some good classic bands and some like pretty popular hyped new bands. But I think it's no one's fault. I think it's just
Weird
First year.
location.
yeah. It was a small location. I looked up the population. There's only like 14 or 15,000 people that lived in this town. So, and I think it's a little bit out of the way. I didn't really look at a map,
Yeah.
but it's I mean, it's upstate New
Well,
York,
out there.
and it's still the biggest city near it is Albany, and that's still, I think, close to 2 hours from
Yeah.
this town. So it was tough, and you're also competing against fests that are happening this weekend, which
I'm sure a lot of people
yeah.
plan way in advance.
Vengeance
for the
Fest, which is the Fest, which we will be at. We'll talk about in a minute, but yeah, I think a lot of people kind of commit to that, and I think some people probably head there even a week in advance. I think, yeah. So and there's Vengeance Fest happening in the same state this weekend too, which
Yeah.
I think
Some of the-
Backtrack's playing
Yeah,
that.
some of the same bands are playing.
Yeah, so it's tough,
There are a lot of fests in the world
Yeah.
these days, so
Yeah,
you
so
really gotta. I don't know.
I think it was the city. I think if this was in, I don't know,
New York City.
yeah,
or
in
something.
New York City or even, I don't know, maybe even if it was in Albany, it would have been a little bit easier of a sell for people or something. But I don't know. Hopefully it worked out for everyone, and
hopefully the people that went did have a good time.
yeah, hopefully people did have a good time and got to see some bands they don't normally see. And as much as it might be a bummer to see not as many kids come out, I'm sure there were a handful of kids in that town who always get passed over on tours and fests and finally got to see a lot of bands they really like. So I think that's cool, and hopefully that happened and stuff. And yeah, I think I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully it happens next year again, and they can tighten up some of the loose ends, and it'll be cool. I'm interested to see what happens with that. But yeah, that's pretty much what happened.
Glad you guys had a good time.
It seems like it's that strange second wave of fest season. You know,
Yeah.
I feel like spring and summer is like the big festival season, obviously, because the weather is good for it, but. It seems
a lot
like
of
this
stuff
time,
in the fall.
yeah, this time of year it seems like a pretty decent.
There's Riot Fest in September. That just
Yeah.
happened.
Were you at that?
No, I didn't go this year.
Well, there's that. There's the fest, which we're going to be at, and we'll talk about a little bit.
Yeah.
And isn't Maryland Death Fest in?
Nah, I think
It's
that's
in
the-
January.
It's
Is that
winter.
January? It might be the spring. I feel like it's the spring.
Yeah, it probably is. I
It's
don't know.
always next year.
I think it seemed like that happened, and then people were immediately talking about like the lineup for the next year again. So I think I was just a little bit confused.
Yeah, I think they started hyping it like real early.
Yeah. I mean, that's a pretty big fest, so
Yeah.
understandable. But
The
there's that.
Fest. We'll be
Yeah.
here.
The
All right.
Fest.
Schultz is going.
I will be there.
It's going to be
You're
there.
gonna hold it down for us at the Fest.
Yes, flying in Thursday night. We'll be there. I'll be there Friday at registration with
Yeah.
the table.
I mean, people that know, I didn't know. The fest is awesome. It's huge. It's almost
300 bands.
it's almost the entire city of Gainesville turns into this festival.
Yep.
Which, funny story. My friend Paul, who does Tor Johnson Records, was talking to him this weekend, and apparently they time Fest around some like rivalry, like
Football game.
football game where they every like person who like lives in Gainesville goes to Jacksonville
Oh, wow.
to see this like game.
That's
So
clever.
like
So it empties
all the
out a little
normals
bit.
come out and all the punks come in, and
It does make sense because when we were down there last year, it didn't seem like there were like college bros everywhere. You know,
No.
they didn't seem like people were harassing the punk kids and like just the people from out of town. So that's cool. I mean, that's
It
works
definitely
out.
gets a little
Good
weird at just about every fest because it almost always coincides with Halloween.
Yeah,
So all
but that's cool
The
though.
norms come out in like wild costumes and
tight.
stuff and mingle
But I think
with people.
everybody gets into that a little bit down there.
Yeah.
It's cool, but it's also weird for people like us that are from the north because about that time of year, it gets like you're pretty committed to it being cold out, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And then you go down there and it's like
80
70,
degrees.
80 degrees and like, I don't know. It's kind of, I remember last year, it
It's
was
cool.
like, it's cool, but I remember being kind of like weirdly disoriented, like coming back because we went there.
Just
We were
drove
only there for
24
4
hours
days,
straight
yeah,
home.
and then we were in the van for like 24 hours. And we get back to like the frigid cold in November.
yeah,
Yeah, I don't know.
That was a pretty weird drive.
It was a weird drive, and it's just a little bit disorienting, whatever. But what I was trying to get at a little bit is like Fest is kind of unorthodox, you know, because it's so big and the fact that it expands so many different venues throughout the town that. Like, you know, like
pretty
when
wild.
when we do this as hardcore and even this fest this past weekend, like you have like an area that you kind of set up at for the entire weekend, and the venue is usually like right there. But there's a hotel. I don't know if it's the same hotel every year. Is it usually
Yeah.
that one?
It's
Holiday
the
Inn.
university.
Alright.
And
So they got that Holiday Inn, and you go and you check in. I'm sure people who have been there know, but if you haven't been, you go to this hotel. You check in like the kind of like conference room kind of thing, I guess, and that's where for like pretty much the first day, that's where all vendors and stuff are, and so Schultz gonna be down there for what, like 3 or 4 days? How many?
Fest is a 3-day thing.
3
I'll
days?
be there all 3 days, but we're only going to be selling things at the registration
Yeah.
from 12 to 7.
Yeah, which is cool because, like you said, like everyone has to go there, so you'll get a chance to
Yeah.
see us if you're interested in picking anything up
Yep.
from us down there. But other than that, it's kind of strange, you know, because you're hopping around to a ton of different venues, and they're not just across the street from one another; they're like throughout pretty much the entire
sometimes
town.
they are. But
Yeah,
they-
I mean, we spent most of our time there last year,
yeah.
like pretty much on one street between two venues, but it's cool. I mean, there are a ton of bands to see, and a lot of them are good, and it's cool because it's a little bit different. Like I don't know. I feel like it's unique because there are some hardcore bands, but it's mostly
Yeah.
punk and punk related bands, and I feel like there aren't a ton of fests that cater almost like exclusively to that. You know,
Yeah.
a lot of times there'll be like bigger festivals that will sometimes have bands like that, but I don't know. It's cool that this caters exclusively to that stuff, and there's a handful of hardcore bands that'll play. But it's cool. I don't know. It's a good time. It's a little bit overwhelming sometimes because it's
very overwhelming.
Yeah, because it's such a big, sprawling event.
It's a buffet of choices.
Yeah. But do vendors? Will you get like a little food pass thing? Probably not,
No,
right?
not
Because
at
that's
all.
we got to play last
I
year.
don't think they're
so-
going to be serving food like at registration.
No. I mean, like we got like tickets.
Bands got like food passes.
Yeah,
tickets?
like a
Oh,
food.
really?
Granted, I don't think we
cool.
even use ours, but we.
It was like vacation. But
Yeah.
Whatever we got it for it seemed pretty mediocre.
Yeah, for sure. We went to that Jamaican jerk place. I think that's the only.
That place was sick.
That place was good. Yeah, Jamaican jerk tofu. Is that what it was? Or was it like?
Yeah. I think it was
Yeah.
tofu.
That was pretty tight.
Sandwiches.
I liked that.
The I don't know if you were there, but the burrito place.
Oh yeah, I think I
You were
went
there?
with the weak teeth guys.
Yeah,
Where you
that
kind of
was,
like walked into like the back room to actually order your burritos or whatever.
Yeah.
No, that place was cool. I think those are the only two like restaurants I went to though. I think
I went to
everything
another
else-
place. Actually, I went to another burrito place that had like gator meat and like all this crazy
Alright,
shit.
I didn't go
Boca
there.
Fiesta.
Yeah, Boca Fiesta, and they also
Yeah.
had like deep fried vegan mac and cheese balls, which I got
Damn.
and were very good.
Oh yeah.
Wish I had that.
That was
Oh,
real
yeah.
good. But the same restaurant, they have gator meat and
There you
other
go.
weird
Perfect.
shit.
Yep.
Too bad they don't have vegan gator meat, right?
They might.
Vegan
No,
gator
They
meat.
don't.
They might now.
That'd be sick.
That'd be sick. Everybody wants that.
They get that vegan raccoon too. Finally.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
That's a world I want to live in someday soon. But yeah, Fest is cool. I was only there last year, but it was a cool experience. And
It was cool.
hopefully Schultz will see some of y'all down there.
Yep.
Buy some merch. Buy it. Buy it. Buy it. Buy it.
Purchase.
So
Who
yeah.
are you excited to see
Yeah.
the most? At the
Oh yeah.
fest?
We
Schultz
actually
has a crazy
Schultz,
list.
I'm looking at this list he has printed out. There are probably 100 or so bands on this list.
Maybe.
You've crafted your own
100.
schedule of bands you want to see, including major highlights. Some of them are even in italics.
Well,
So let's go down the list.
Schultz
a little
I
bit.
have a
like
coded
lists.
system here.
He loves lists.
Let's keep everything organized.
That's true. Except when the list
Lays it
itself
out.
is unorganized and you have them
No,
piling up on your desk
It
with no
keeps me
names
from
on
forgetting
the list.
about things.
Okay. So
Except
let's
when
go
I
down the
forget.
list a little
What
bit.
are
We
you
got.
gonna see?
Who are you going to see? Who are the highlights?
For Friday,
We can't read all of these.
Yeah,
No.
pick
gotta-
some highlights.
Let's just do the bolded ones.
Some
No,
of the-
not even.
Not even. Some,
Not even.
There's a lot of
Fine,
bolder
the
ones
ones
on
you're
here.
the most interested in seeing.
All right, Friday. Haven't seen Strike Anywhere in a while.
All right.
That'll be great, of course. Home label bias, but
Buy it.
a long-time favorite. Wilhelm Scream will be great.
Classic.
Make Do Men playing a rare show. They haven't been
Wow.
out much this year.
When was the last time they played?
Probably that co-headliner they did with Cheap Girls last year, I
Wow,
think.
look at
They
that.
took a little break.
They're not like on hiatus, right? They're just
No,
not
they just took
playing
a
that
little
often?
break.
True.
Yeah.
All
But
right.
I think they're starting to come back and do some stuff now.
tight.
Yeah. Paint It Black. That's a rare thing, too. So that'll be
They
fun.
played last year.
Yeah,
They
it
were
was
real
cool.
good.
It was cool, but it was weird because it was that venue was so
Big.
big.
That was really big
It was like a
venue.
very large. It was like a concert, and it was packed too. I mean,
Talking
that's the
about-
cool thing about Fest is that like
The main venue?
was it?
Yeah,
I think it
the
was
main
one
one.
of
It was
the
like-
main
It
venues.
was
Yeah.
Painted Black, Voices Fire.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
But
Yeah.
Fest in general is cool because like even like there's just so many people down there, and I mean they're all down there for the same reason. Even a small band has a pretty cool set for the most part. So, but yeah, Painted Black was wild last year.
Yeah.
Who else we got?
Well, Saturday, some rare things. Look, Mexico. They don't play much.
I don't know what that
I don't know
is.
what that is.
They're like a kind of an American football-y emo band that went a little more indie rock on their later releases, but I think they're kind of returning to that sound.
Indie rock.
Yeah.
Wow.
Good.
That'll be good. They don't play much these days, so.
Sounds sick. All right, what else?
Descendants, of course.
Of course.
I feel like I see them every few years, but it's always great.
There's that
obviously.
documentary that they were airing last year,
Yeah,
wasn't
that's
it?
Yeah, watch that.
Was that like in a theater so you could see it on like a big screen, or was it just kind of like
No, they had like a projector, but
true?
it was cool.
It's tight.
Came with a vegan brunch.
Not
That's
bad.
pretty good.
It's pretty sick.
Could be worse.
I have to decide between seeing World is a Beautiful Place covering at the drive-in or Beach Slang, so that's a tough choice.
Oh, that's a tough
I would
choice.
roll with beach slang.
Yeah. There's something about like a cover set could be cool, but I don't
Could
know.
be very
I don't.
cool.
Covers in
could
general
be
don't
disastrous.
compel me that much.
But
Why
At the
would it
Drive-
be disastrous?
At the Drive-in's one of my favorite bands, but
There you go. Why would it be disastrous though? I mean, they're
Jeez, it's
they're a competent
poorly-
band.
They are. Could
They're
be
not
poorly
gonna-
done, or the vocals could sound weird. I don't know.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yeah.
I mean, because at the drive-ins, vocals don't sound weird to begin with, right?
I mean, they're different. I'll say that.
Yeah.
True.
Self-Defense Family, because I missed them at Death Wish Fest because the line took an hour to get into the venue.
Are you going to go off?
Does anyone really go off the Self-Defense Family?
Patrick
I have no
Kinlan seems
idea.
to go off.
Because
The band themselves.
Yeah. I don't, kind of a hard band to go off for. I don't know really what you would do or
I don't know. You
how
get
would
into
act.
it. You spaz out.
Push
Sick
pit?
mosh.
Push pit.
Yeah.
You should start a pit.
Start a push pit.
Yeah, start a push pit.
That's something you would do.
I would start a push pit.
Yes.
No, not in 2014.
Why not?
I don't think I would start a push pit ever in my life, honestly. I might engage in one when I was 16 to strung out, but
So that happened.
it was more like a slam pit. That was my first
Slam
ever.
pit.
People were literally just like
Slam
jumping
pit.
into each other, slamming as hard as they can. And I was like,
Sounds pretty
I was like
new, though.
maybe 15, 16, so I was like, wow, this is so cool. Is this punk?
This is
And I
punk.
tried it out.
Slam pit. All right. So you're going to start a slam pit to Self-Defense Family. What else?
Creepoid.
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 You talk
Pretty
about
good.
that band a lot.
Yeah,
Are they sick?
they're real good. Yeah,
All right. And those
it's
the
like
highlights?
True Widow with energy.
Wow.
Nah. I don't know how I feel about it.
Yeah,
Is that it?
That's it for
Is
Saturday.
that what we got on the list?
Sunday, we got a lot going on. Got to decide between Iron Cheek and Dikembe.
You got to see Iron
Obviously,
Cheek.
Iron Cheek.
Buy it!
You fuck.
Buy
Yeah.
their album.
But
Please
they-
God,
I
buy
think
their
even they would
album.
understand. Me being from Long Island and having seen them probably upwards of 20 times now.
No, you haven't.
I think I honestly have.
Iron Cheek should have some Sick Fest exclusive stuff. I think
Yeah.
they're going to have
Their new split, Test Presses,
test presses of the new split.
with Low Culture.
Low Culture.
That's pretty
Streaming
sick.
on,
being-
streaming on Noisy right now. if
Yeah,
you
2
wanna
new
peep
songs
it.
are up. That's coming out through Dead Broken Dirt Cult.
Yeah, should be sick.
Restorations, always a fest highlight. They'll be great.
Who else? Who else you want to see, Schultz?
United Nations.
United Nations.
They played last year.
They did.
Yeah.
They played our show, didn't they?
Didn't watch them. They played at like 2 in
I
the
missed them
morning.
too. 'Cause didn't
Jeez.
they play or they were playing mass like
Yeah, they
around that time?
They did a tour. Circle Takes
Yeah.
a Square.
Yeah,
Came through.
that's cool.
Lifetime would be a great
Lifetime.
highlight, of course.
That'll be good.
Then I'll probably watch the Circle Takes a Square set.
What about the Melvins?
That's later on. I can watch all of Circle. Go watch the last half of Hot Water Music, which is probably what I'm going to try and do. Then either Into It Over It or Sunshine State. One of those. And then I'll probably wrap up my night watching a little bit of 4 different bands. Melvins, Mineral, Dowsing, Frameworks, perhaps.
Wow.
Yep.
Sounds
And
pretty intense.
that'll be fest.
Sounds exhausting.
Well, this is what happens when you're a reviews editor for 7 years. You get into way too many bands.
Wow.
You love bands, huh?
Entirely too many, pretty much.
Yeah. You like every band.
I don't like every band. It seems that way, but I do have a filter.
What's your filter? What's the worst band you ever heard?
Worst band I've ever heard.
Yeah.
I don't know, Big Fucking Skull, maybe.
What is that?
Big fucking skull.
It was a CD I reviewed for Punk News probably 6 years ago or something. It was
What does it sound
incredibly
like?
bad. It sounds like it's real rough. It's almost like Misfit songs, like that were stomped on and just in a car accident.
Pooped on.
Yeah,
Pooped on Misfit songs in a car accident.
Big Fucking Skull.
Big
I'll have to
fucking
check that
skull.
out.
Sounds pretty good. Sounds
Oh,
pretty good.
good luck. I don't know how much internet presence I
Well,
have.
that's what Schultz is going to do at Fest, I guess. He'll see an exhaustive amount of bands, and
I'll eat a lot of great food.
he'll eat a lot of
course.
great food. He'll eat too much food probably, and have a stomachache while he's watching all of these
It's
bands.
entirely possible.
Get on the plane with a bunch of leftovers.
Yeah,
Lots of
and
Tupperware
they'll
containers.
say, "I'm sorry, sir, you can't bring this food onto this plane," and he'll throw a fit probably,
Get arrested.
get arrested, get pat down.
He'll hide some food in his fedora.
Yep. He will. He would, wouldn't he?
He would do that.
He would do
That'd be a
that.
good strategy.
Yeah, they wouldn't check underneath the hat.
No, not at all.
There you go. Well, it's all coming together. Hope you have a good time, Schultz.
Thanks.
Don't crash in the plane.
Don't crash in the plane.
Yeah. Well, don't. I hope the
Don't
plane
crash
doesn't
the
crash.
plane.
Be well. Be
I
safe.
usually just pass out on planes. I'll be okay.
You take pills to pass out on the plane?
No, I usually just zonk out before it
Zonk
even
out?
leaves the runway.
Wow. What plane? What?
Before it even leaves you. What the
What?
fuck?
Sometimes.
Damn, that's.
Sometimes.
It's intense.
I know that is.
It sits,
You do fall asleep very easily.
I know.
it sits at the taxi area for a while sometimes.
Are you gonna shut everyone's TVs off there if they're watching the in-house movie?
Yeah, I'm going to go around.
Shut them all off. Sorry,
Yeah.
I'm trying to sleep. Please turn off your movie. Please turn off Big Mama's House too. Wow. So that's Fest. That's what we're gonna be doing at Fest. Well, us as Bridge 9,
Schultz
which
is
is
gonna
just
be doing.
Schultz.
Just Schultz.
Let us know if he's not actually at the table and he gets some
Yeah, let us know.
some random kid to run the merch table for him so he can go see
We
a
do
funny
So
have
you
a
know
volunteer
what Schultz
helping
looks
us.
like? He's about 5'1", Morrissey Pompadour
Yeah.
with a beard.
kind of a
My hair
beard.
is very flat.
He
right
has a
now.
pompadour. It's about 4 inches
It's
off of his head.
extremely flat right now.
5'1",
Hat hair.
5'1" Pompadour.
What else?
elephant ears,
Huge forehead, right?
giant
He's a
forehead,
pretty big forehead.
big teeth.
He'll probably be wearing white socks,
Yeah, or gray.
white or gray socks.
If he's
you
wearing
notice.
gray socks, just run.
Ryan and Tyler think you should be arrested for wearing white socks.
I just don't understand why you wouldn't wear black socks like normal
I
people.
don't have that many pairs.
So buy more.
I should buy more. But
Especially like this is if you're wearing something that might be appropriate with that, like okay, but you're wearing like all black. You're wearing a
white
dark
socks.
gray sweatshirt, black pants, black shoes, and then you
I'm
have
wearing-
weird white dad socks
I'm not
on.
wearing white socks today.
But usually.
What are they?
Sometimes.
What socks?
Or those fucking striped socks, those weird ass striped socks from Aeropostale.
Oh yeah.
Do you mean H&M?
No,
No, you do have
the ones you
Aeropostale.
stole from your old job.
You worked. You got fired for stealing socks from Aeropostale.
I didn't steal them. I took a little discount.
You
About-
found someone's gift card and bought socks with them, and then
Yes.
got fired for doing that.
more or less.
Cool
yes.
life. Good times. Wow. Kid loves them all. So yeah, Fest. We'll be there. Buy it. Ryan, you weren't with
Yeah.
us this weekend.
Nope.
You were in. You stayed home, held it
Shithead.
down in Boston.
Held it down in Boston.
Did you go to that
Somerville.
Veggie Food Fest, or did you miss that?
Nah, Saturday I went to Boston Veg Fest.
How's that?
Iffy.
It was kind of shit.
Why?
Uh,
Did you go last year?
Yeah, I went last
You
year.
don't like
too.
crowds.
You said it's kind of cramped, right? The
Dude,
place they have it at?
The venue they have it at's way too small for
Yeah.
what it is. I'm not gonna wait in a 50-person line to try a fucking bite of a piece of fake chicken
You're
that
telling
you've
me.
probably had.
that I've definitely had. I really wanted moi wa.
Moiwa.
What's that?
It's this like fake meat company that's based in New York and
Oh, is this the one that provides for like all the Chinese food places?
yeah.
True,
and
true.
they usually sell at Veg Fest, and it's the only time you can ever buy shit, and they weren't there, so that sucked.
Bummer.
But
Thanks
I
for
walked
nothing.
did one lap around. I don't know. I wasn't really in the mood to be around a bunch of people, so I tried a couple things. It was a pretty decent cashew cheese spread
There you
that
go.
I considered buying.
Is that the same one you got? No, you got almond
That was
spread,
it.
right?
Yeah.
Nut
Yeah.
cheese. Sounds
was
very
pretty-
appealing, nut cheese.
This was pretty decent, but I did not buy it. I walked around and I got some Belmont vegetarian, which is
Belmont was there.
Yeah, it's like
All right.
soul food, vegan soul food based in Worcester.
Good mac and cheese. Good steak tips of
Yeah,
sorts.
they didn't have as good of a selection as they
Really?
usually did. So I just got mac and cheese and like sweet and sour beef or something like that.
Good times.
But yeah, I got that. Then I got an Oreo cupcake from Sabretooth Bakery,
Not bad.
and then I left. I split.
You left. We talk about food a lot on this podcast.
Yeah.
It's about a good third of every episode, I think, will be dedicated to the food recap of the past
much.
week.
Our lives
Veg
often
Fest
revolve
it's a
around it.
cool thing, but it's definitely geared more towards people who aren't vegan or vegetarian.
Yeah.
Like,
Which is
don't
important.
It's trying to
Yeah,
show how
it's-
easy it is.
it's cool, but like, I don't really need to like listen to like
Yeah.
speeches from people saying shit I already know.
Yeah.
Preaching to the
And I
choir.
don't need to wait in all these crazy lines to try something that I
And
have
you could
had
get
a
it at a
million times.
number of restaurants probably
Yeah,
in Boston.
I don't need to be
anyway.
convinced.
Yeah. But
If it wasn't as crowded, that would have been nice. I would have enjoyed the free samples,
True
but
that.
otherwise, wasn't that bad.
and then you went to what was it the next day on Sunday? The flea market or
Yeah, Saturday night I went to see
yeah.
S
True.
play in Providence, which is a solo project of Jen Ghetto from Chris is Weird.
This is very good.
It's very good.
Yeah. Saw her in Jamaica Plain last week. That was
Grim
pretty
show.
cool. Yeah. Probably with another 13 people, but they played real well. So that was nice.
I think the Providence show is better. There's probably 20, 30 people there.
I feel like that works for her though. You know, I feel like an
Yeah,
intimate crowd works
intimate sound.
well for that.
Yeah, it was at AS220.
It's pretty tight.
Visited Sean Murphy from Verse of Violent Sons earlier.
Buy it.
Bought some pizza from him at Nice Slice. Great pizza. And I went to the gig. S was really good.
There you
Real
go.
Good. Played with a full band, which is cool. Most of her other albums are like lo-fi, like bedroom recordings.
Yeah.
But the new album's good, but I think I prefer the other stuff a little better.
Yeah.
The new album has like some real strong songs, but it's pretty like it's a lot poppier and more accessible.
Yeah, for sure.
But
I mean, her songs are
still
catchy
good.
even in the past, but they just have like that lo-fi thing going on.
Yeah.
Like I think some of her best songs are the ones where it's kind of just her with a guitar.
Yeah.
And I don't even like acoustic music or like music that's like
Yeah, same
just
here.
a guitar and a vocal, but I don't know. It's
Something about
different.
what she does, yeah, it's real good.
Her lyrics are kind of simple, but they're like very relatable and
Effective.
cool. And,
Some
like,
real
yeah.
shit. She says some real shit.
Yeah, she's got it. She's got it going on. She's doing well. So, yeah. And
That's
then,
cool.
so
Yeah.
then the next day you were at that flea market.
Yeah, in Boston there was a black market. What it was called? It was like a flea market. There's a lot of records, like distros. Pretty much people just selling random shit. There's like leather things and like
Sex shop.
the sex shop.
Sex
there.
shop.
Hubba hubba.
Hubba hubba.
So,
Where is the sex shop located?
I think it's between Harvard Square and Central Square.
True.
I've never been, but I was near them at the table.
Not bad.
That thing was pretty cool. It went over well with a lot of people.
There were other labels there, right? You said Painkiller?
Yeah,
I think was
Painkiller
there?
was there. Twerp Records was there. Paddock Records was there. Cool.
Panic was there?
Paddock.
Paddock.
Patak or
All
whatever.
right. I got you.
Cool dude. Cool label.
Tight.
Yeah, Chris from Painkiller was selling a lot of like just like random records that weren't Painkiller stuff. He had some cool shit. I kind of didn't. I was there alone, so I didn't really have any relief to walk around much. But yeah, it was really cool. If you're into shit like that and you live around here, I think they're going to be doing another one in December. It's just at the Cambridge Elks. It's like both floors, upstairs, downstairs. But yeah, it was cool.
Tight.
Enjoyed
Go to it.
Go to it.
Such busy weekends for all of us, huh?
I'd
Wow.
say so.
Wow. Schultz and I took Monday off.
Yeah.
It was nice.
Much
Schultz got a
needed.
lot done.
I did get a lot done.
What did you get done? Laundry.
Laundry.
Cleaned your room.
Took out a lot of garbage. So
Why do you have so? You mentioned the garbage thing. Why do you have so much garbage?
It was just like the kitchen garbage, the bathroom garbage, my bedroom garbage. It was all
How much
a lot of
garbage do you
garbage.
have in your bedroom?
just one pail's worth.
What?
What's
It's
pail?
like one little pail.
pail?
Just one little pail.
What is a pail?
You know what I mean? Like a little garbage pail,
Who says
bedroom
that?
size.
Who
What else
says
would you
that?
call it?
Garbage can.
It's
Barrel.
Not, it's not really a can or
Barrel.
barrel. It's not.
Barrel.
I don't have like one of those huge like barrels in my room.
So it's
like
a pail.
little.
It's like a pail.
I don't know what to call it.
A pail.
Garbage container.
Garbage pail. Why don't you just throw your trash out the window like a normal person?
Yeah.
Or flush it down the
I
toilet.
guess that's a pretty good idea.
Yeah. Or burn it.
Burn it like we did at your house.
Yeah. That's fine.
All right. Maybe I'll consider that.
And what else did you do?
Set up my new record player.
Oh wow!
Did you
Schultz
listen
has
to
been
anything?
saying he has these records, but he doesn't have a record player.
He has
Now I
3
have one.
records.
He said he's
3.
for the past
A lot
3
more than
years.
that.
He said he's been going to get a record player. He never did.
Well, I did.
And
Do you
now he
listen to
finally
anything?
did.
I don't have speakers yet.
Oh my god!
So what did you set up? You took it
what
out of
did
the
it say?
box?
You have to set it up because you have to.
There's
set
a
up
little
the
assembly.
belt.
I have
Yeah.
that one. There's a little assembly required.
Yeah.
But
You couldn't even test if it works, though.
I wouldn't
I'm gonna
really
go to
say
the
I
thrift
set that
store. I'll
up.
pick up some speakers over the next few
Wow.
weeks when I get a chance.
You could have done this in the
It's
meantime.
been a busy few weeks, man.
Few weeks?
Yeah.
What else have you been
What
doing?
else you been? You have been
I
busy.
don't know. Shows, the usual
Every
stuff.
time I walk into you at your desk, you're sleeping.
You're dead asleep.
My bed.
you're just sleeping, or you're watching movies on your computer.
Watching movies.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You were watching Rookie of the Year yesterday.
you were.
It's a great movie. Why wouldn't you watch it at work?
It's true. You watch it every single day at work. Rookie of the Year.
Daily ritual.
Wow. So let's talk about Halloween, because this is supposed to be the spooky special episode. Halloween.
Wow.
What about Halloween?
It's especially spooky around here.
Yeah.
We're a town over from Salem, Massachusetts.
The witch trials.
Witch trials.
Which didn't actually take place in Salem, as far as I've heard.
Where'd they take place then? You fucked?
I don't remember, but I know like the fun fact is that it wasn't actually Salem.
Either way, I feel like Massachusetts has a pretty rich history, and Salem in particular, for sure, has that kind of stuff going on. And yeah, you go to Salem, I mean...
It gets real wacky there during
it's all about that stuff, kind of. I mean, I think don't even like the cops have like their little funny like patches and badges have like a witch on them. I think like they're just all about that shit over there, which is cool. I actually went there Friday night and like I kind of got there after the stuff was happening, but I don't know. There was a bunch of like college bros running around as like ghosts and kind of harassing people. I tried to avoid that.
That sounds really pleasant.
Yeah, so I mean they have like haunted houses set up and you can take tours. I think there's something called like the Witch House there.
Yeah.
Which is supposed to have some significance. I don't know that much about it, but
yeah, they got a couple witchy things like museums and shit. And...
yeah, I mean stuff sounds cool on paper. It's a little bit not like if I want to see something spooky, I kind of want to go to like an abandoned house and try to get possessed or something. But
yeah, I'd rather try to summon some ghouls.
Yeah, you know, like I don't really want to be a bunch of weird college kids and parents trying to calm their screaming children down. It's just a little bit too touristy for me at this point, but it's whatever. But yeah, Halloween in general. How do we like Halloween? I've always liked Halloween. I have fond memories. It's always
I
been
kind of
something
don't care
fun.
about Halloween.
He doesn't care.
I remember, I think I was about 12 or so, and my parents were like, "You want to go trick or treating?" I was playing Nintendo 64, and I was like, "Nah, I'm gonna stay in and play Nintendo 64."
There you
and
go.
From there on, never really celebrated it much.
Yeah, I mean, I don't.
It's cool.
It's an excuse. Like the older you get, obviously, it's just an excuse to like. It's a little bit ironic, and it's a little bit just like, screw it. Like, let's have a good time. I mean, you're doing that party this year. It's kind of just an excuse. Go to it. Bring cool food.
Wow.
Oh boy. But yeah, I don't know. It's like I mean, I like horror movies and spooky stuff. It's interesting to me. So Halloween is a time where that stuff is usually more of a thing. So
if you really care, you can have a cool ass costume too. As an adult, you can put a little more time and effort into it.
It's true.
Not that I ever have. Schultz has. Schultz showed up to work.
Oh god.
In a Green Man suit last year. Nobody dressed up.
Wait, you did that at work?
Yeah.
Totally naked.
I didn't realize everybody in the office would be too cool to wear a costume, apparently.
Why would you? You've been here for like 3 years. No one's ever dressed up.
That's like The Office when, what is it, Pam?
No one's ever dressed up here.
That's like The Office when Pam dresses up as, who does she dress up as?
I don't know.
Who's that silent film guy?
Silent film guy, Charlie Chaplin?
Yeah, Charlie Chaplin.
She no one else over the top.
Up. Yeah, she's wearing like a bowler hat and has like a Hitler mustache.
And nobody else dresses up.
No one else dresses up. And that's like you, kind of. You're that guy. That's like a stereotype.
Show up at work in the Green Man suit, totally naked under it.
Being a little festive.
Why would you not even ask anybody if they dress up?
I thought I was going to be the only guy not dressed up, so I felt I should probably throw on a costume.
That's wild.
How'd you feel when you came in?
Confused.
I feel like this is not the first time you've done something like this, because from what I understand, on your interview, you wore a full suit to the punk rock record label interview.
You did.
That did happen.
Full suit, I remember you. I thought you were
You'd
a
never
fucking clown.
be too well dressed for your interview.
I don't know. Maybe.
Well, where am I right now? I'm on the job.
He's on the job, it worked.
Barely. He doesn't really work here. But so you guys don't care that much about Halloween. I mean, obviously I don't care as much. I used to love it when I was a kid. Thinking for like 6 months about what you're gonna wear.
Yeah.
I was like pirate for like three years straight for some reason. I was really into that.
Pirate.
Candy?
Oh, candy.
You like candy?
I did like all the trick-or-treating.
What'd you like?
Getting a pillowcase full of candy.
What would you eat?
All of it.
What was your favorite?
Probably the chocolate.
What's the chocolate?
Any chocolate items that are given out.
Like what?
I'm saying.
But I mean, chocolate has many variations. Like Reese's peanut butter. That's
Reese's.
Chocolate and peanut butter. That's not just chocolate.
I'm saying the chocolate-based items.
Like what?
Like what?
Reese's Cups. Reese's Pieces.
Just
Fucking
Reese's.
I don't
Shut
think.
up.
Here's
I'm
the
not
thing.
done.
I don't think Reese's Pieces even have chocolate in them. They're just like peanut butter nuggets.
There's no fucking chocolate in them.
I gotta look that up, but
They're like Skittles with peanut butter inside.
You might be right.
Okay, so that's only one chocolate thing.
Well, Tootsie Rolls.
Oh God, what are you like?
It's like fucking
500 years old?
Yeah, who eats that shit?
Oh my God!
I didn't know that was a stereotype. Being an
like
old
a-
man,
my
that
dad
likes
It's a
was-
Tootsie
little
Rolls.
log of shit.
Yeah, except it tastes like cocoa
My dad loves those things.
because they're good.
Maybe because
You
it's
still
for old
eat them?
people.
Of course not.
Yeah, you do.
You do, don't you?
Fucking
Yeah, I
sneak
don't.
them.
You monster.
Sneak them. I would just eat them if I wanted to.
Fuck you.
I think they have whey in them or something.
No, they got gelatin.
Gelatin
Do they?
too?
They got gelatin. Yeah.
Tootsie Rolls
Jesus.
suck anyway, so you shouldn't be
No,
eating
they
them.
don't suck.
Why don't
They're
you put on
good.
your white socks
They're
and eat a
not
whole thing of
good.
Tootsie Rolls?
That sounds
Watch
okay to
Saturday
me.
Night Live.
You pick
Wow.
that shit out and you throw it in the trash.
Yeah.
What?
Tootsie Rolls.
Tootsie Rolls.
threw them
Fucking
in the
Tootsie
trash?
Roll.
Threw them in the fucking trash.
Every
is
time
that
I-
what you did with your
Oh,
Halloween
yeah.
candy?
Threw 'em
Every
in the
time I would
trash.
get Tootsie Rolls for Halloween, I would throw a rock through that
You're
person's
the only people
window.
I've ever met that didn't like Tootsie Rolls.
Tootsie Rolls are for weird old people.
Yeah.
What?
Dads.
It's not like I'm eating Neckos or something.
Might as well. Might as well be that.
Wow.
So those are terrible. What else?
Those
So
are
you
terrible.
only like chocolate shit? You don't
I
like...
would eat pretty much anything in there, but I prefer the chocolate things.
You know what I always liked? I feel like are underrated? Dots. Dots are vegan too, I think. I don't think they have
Oh,
gelatin. in
those
them.
are okay, yeah.
I like
Sure.
dots.
don't think I ever
like
got
the chewy
Dots.
stuff. You never had dots in your life?
I'm saying in Halloween, like candy.
Why? They
The
give you the
little
little
boxes,
tiny
yeah.
like box of like 5 or 6.
Oh, those
That's
dots.
classic.
Oh, sorry. I'm
What
thinking
the
of
hell are
the.
you talking
I'm thinking of
about?
the weird button candy. That's like these little pieces of candy on like a piece of paper, and you'd have to rip it
Oh,
off.
yeah.
And
There's
Fuck
always
those.
paper on
Paper.
those
Yeah,
things. You're
fuck
always
that.
eating paper with those.
I would eat those, but they were terrible because you would always just
Yeah.
be eating paper.
They're fun, but like you do eat mostly paper when you have
Who
that.
came up with that?
Some
I don't know.
fuckhead.
Very flawed concept.
Whatever, I don't know.
Wow, this is great. Pieces of little crumbly candy with fucking paper on them.
Yeah.
I always liked,
No, dots are
I'll
pretty
probably
good.
be in the minority, but I really like Milk Duds.
The-
Oh, Milk Duds are pretty good.
They kind of got stuck all over your fucking teeth.
Yeah.
You like that? Is that what you're into?
I just really like caramel.
On that
True.
note,
See, I
Whoppers.
never really liked caramel that much.
What about Whoppers?
What are Whoppers?
Whoppers are pretty
The
good.
malted balls.
Oh, yeah.
Those
Those
are
are
good.
okay.
And fucking Nerds.
Yeah. Nerds are
Oh,
pretty good.
Oh my god, Nerds.
Nerds are good. I definitely, Reese's, R.I.P. I miss Reese's, man.
Yeah, you gotta get Justin's.
It's just Justin's? That's
Justin's
good.
Reese's.
Some at the Whole-
dark
Whole
chocolate
Foods.
at Whole Foods.
Does it like
Those are good.
compare though?
Oh yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Because I feel like
Good.
the thing is, obviously Reese's, it's garbage. You know, it's terrible for you and it's all fake. But I don't know. There's something about Reese's that would like.
It's that
Because I've had
combination.
other peanut butter cups and like, I don't know. Reese's just nailed that.
Bears.
Mini Twizzlers.
Fuck
Oh, they
Twizzlers.
did.
That's another old person
Yeah,
candy.
Twizzlers.
What?
Yes.
My mom loves Twizzlers.
Twizzlers are also vegan. So
Yeah, I know
they
they are.
suck balls.
They're great. The Poland peel, holy shit.
The pull ones are okay, but regular Twizzlers are honestly
You don't like
Kind of just
it's-
tastes like medicine.
It's torture eating a regular
think so.
Twizzler.
I'll eat them, but I wouldn't buy them.
I'd rather
they taste
cut off
fine.
my own hand than eat a regular Twizzler.
That's crazy.
I'm sorry, it's true.
I'll get a saw right now.
I don't want to eat one. Why is it?
Chocolate Twizzlers were good too.
Chocolate? That's not a thing.
But now that I'm thinking of,
Yeah, what the fuck?
yeah, they are. Chocolate Twizzlers is a thing.
No,
You've never seen them?
nope.
Nah.
Because it doesn't exist.
Yes, it does. I'm gonna Google it.
No,
and show
don't,
it to you.
don't.
Oh my god. Okay,
Stop.
shut it down.
Stop.
Shut it
Oh,
down. It's
stop.
over.
No, I don't. Just
Mini-
tell me
Oh
about
my
them.
God.
How does it work? How do they work?
They're just Twizzlers, but they're chocolate. That's
so
it.
is it like melty
No,
chocolate?
It's just chocolate flavored and
That
like
sounds
colored.
fucking disgusting.
Chocolate flavored licorice?
It's not. You don't really. I don't even think you really taste the licorice in strawberry Twizzlers anyway. So
I don't taste anything good.
I taste a lot of shit.
the mini chocolate bars too, though, were good. Like little mini Snickers or
Yeah.
mini Kit Kats.
Well, I mean, everything's mini. If you got like a full size thing, that person you got
He's
that from,
fucking
he was
loaded,
the
man.
guy.
yeah.
You know what the worst is though? As much as I don't mind raisins, the worst was when you got like raisins. You know,
Yeah, who the
there's
fuck
always
has raisins.
There's always a couple people in your neighborhood who will give you
That
raisins.
was like a not thoughtful effort, but like
no, it's just
who
stupid.
the,
not
I'm saying, who the
thoughtful.
fuck kid
It's
wants?
one night a year. Come on,
That's them trying to fuck with
I know.
kids.
that's
I'm
someone
gonna
who
try
just
to fuck
hates
with them.
children.
Yeah, they are.
and is miserable.
Who wants raisins?
No one wants raisins, but that's the adult's way of saying like, hey, eat something fucking healthy, you little fat piece of shit.
Oh my god, is that what they think?
Probably.
I
Jeez,
don't know about that.
why? That's quite the assumption. It literally those. Okay, we're looking at the chocolate Twizzlers, and they look like little tiny long shits.
Yeah.
They look like poops that have
Yeah.
been squeezed through a tiny little asshole.
Yeah, shit is always textured like that, like a Twizzler.
That looks like the worst thing ever.
Somebody's
So-
shitting out logs of feces
Most-
and then like tracing nice little patterns in them.
That's something you would do. You sick fuck.
Oh
Yes.
my god, you monster.
Yeah, something I desire to do.
All right, so yeah, Halloween shows. Have we ever? I mean,
Shows?
We all go to shows, you know, and I feel like Halloween punk shows are kind of a thing, you know.
Yeah.
I've been to a handful in my life. We played one.
Yeah, there's. I haven't really been to many, really.
I always ended up going to Fest when they happened.
That's
Yeah.
true. There's one coming up. I think goes up.
True. Yeah. I think the general practice, if you're listening, you've probably been to one, is like usually like bands will cover other bands. That's usually like the shtick, which makes sense. It's appropriate. It's a good
Halloween.
opportunity to do that.
Bands playing
Dressing up.
Yeah,
bands
dressing
playing
up.
dress
But we played one. We covered a bunch of 80s hardcore classics. That was fun. It's a good time.
It was really fun seeing a room of drunk people scream along to Straight Edge Revenge. That was really nice.
Pretty ironic,
That's sick.
but it was tight. That's always a good time.
Yeah,
But
there's a cover show at Fest as well,
Yeah.
right?
I'm sure there's at least
There's
one,
bands that just do cover sets throughout the weekend.
Well, you're saying there's something
actually.
about a pool? Is
Well,
that like new this year, or they always play
No,
by the pool?
They always do bands that play by the pool
Alright.
during registration.
Okay.
So this year they have Lee Corey Oswald covering Weezer, and members of Prawn, Foxing, and Two Nights doing Rage Against the Machine.
Weird.
I might try and catch that if I can slip
I know.
out of the table.
I think Weak Teeth is doing Choking Victim.
They are. That's a thing that's
There you
happening.
go.
That'd be cool.
We want to do a little special segment for our spooky Halloween episode.
It's the 666 horror movies.
Okay.
I like
Oh,
that we
well,
just peeked
that
out the
was-
microphone. Totally.
That's a little deranged.
Maybe you should take a walk.
Maybe
I
you
thought
should
it needed a
leave.
little intro.
Maybe you should leave.
Thanks. But yeah, we were gonna do we're gonna do top whatever like horror movies thing for this episode. And I know the usual is like 5 or 10, but we thought let's get real spooky with it and do 6 each. There's 3 of us, so it's 666. You know, like what's more spooky and
That's some,
Halloweeny
that's
than
some
that?
fucking scary, edgy shit right there.
That's scary.
Very edgy.
That is very
Frightened.
edgy. We are edgy. I mean, we're punkers over here,
Yeah.
hardcore punkers, and we're edgy. So
We're intimidating.
yeah, watch out.
We'll push your grandmothers down flights of stairs.
Jeez.
Oh my god.
You always go a little bit too far. Jesus
I was going to say
Christ.
something slightly a little too twisted.
I know you're like
Edgy.
he's edgy. You're just deranged.
Watch out, man.
All right, so yeah, let's start it off. I guess I'll go first because I'm the host.
Trevor.
It's
Mr.
my
Moderator.
show, the Tyler Show. I'm not great at picking favorites, so this was kind of just like movies that stood out to me that have stuck with me. 6 of them. So my first one is The Ring.
The Ring, that was a scary movie.
good
See,
one.
that's the thing. Like, I like horror movies. A lot of times I like horror movies that don't scare me that much, that I just think are good and well done. But The Ring honestly scared the shit out of me when I was like 12.
Yeah, I was young, so I don't know if I watched.
Yeah.
If I had seen it now,
You know the
what
scene
it would do.
when-
But
I've seen it recently and it still holds up. Like it's
some
honestly
scary shit.
it's a scary movie. It's only PG-13 too, which is kind of nuts
wild.
for like a horror movie to be like that well done. But I don't know. I thought it was good, truly frightening. There's just like a whole atmosphere throughout the movie that like kind of like spooks you, you know,
Yeah.
freaks you out a little bit.
Remember that scene when they open the door and the girl's face is just
Yeah.
wide open?
Well, that's honestly such a good pop out scene. They do the
Yeah.
like, oh, I saw her face, and then boom, they flash to
My
it.
friend was sitting next to me in the theater and just turns to me and goes, "How's that popcorn taste now?"
What does that mean?
I think he was trying to be funny.
I don't get it though.
So I was eating popcorn and then see this like hideous face.
I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Fuck
you get
your-
weird
fuck your
friends.
friend.
You and your friends, man, they're
You'd have to
weird.
ask him.
You always say weird shit.
All right, so let's. Who wants to go next? Then we'll do one at a time.
I'll go.
All right, Ryan's gonna go.
The Exorcist.
The Exorcist. Oh fuck!
Classic.
I forgot about that. one.
Classic film.
That is
It's
classic.
great. Great imagery.
That holds up. That's scary as hell. Still,
Scary
I kind of
shit.
forgot about that. I only saw it once, I think, because it truly is very frightening. Yeah.
Exorcist shit always gets me.
Yeah.
I'm not religious at all and don't
No.
believe in any of that
Yeah.
shit, but something about it, it's intriguing to me.
Yeah, I'm the same
I like
exact
it.
way. And I mean, The Exorcist is so well done that it's like, I don't know, realistic in a way, you know, and
Yeah.
it gets to you. I'm the same way though. Exorcist stuff always
Yeah.
gets to my core.
It's those demonic voices.
It's just
the
I don't know.
effects.
Another good Exorcist movie actually is The Exorcism of Emily Rose, a newer one that actually
Yeah, I thought
holds
that-
up.
I thought
That one's
was-
pretty
I
scary.
thought that was pretty good.
I forget who's the actress. You probably know. She's from Dexter.
I didn't see the
the
movie.
sister. You've seen her before though. Do you watch that show,
I don't watch
Dexter?
Dexter.
I forget her name, but she does an awesome job in that movie. Very convincing. All right, Schultz.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Nightmare on Elm Street. Have
It's
you actually
classic.
seen it?
So generic. Classic. Generic.
So is The Exorcist.
Fuck you.
Exorcist.
Fuck you.
All right, Alfred Hitchcock. Because I just remember being like 8, 9 when I saw that, and I was like, "Holy shit! If this guy can find me my dreams, what the hell else am I supposed to do?"
You do love
Or for
having
you to
dreams.
truly hide.
That was pretty scary.
Yeah.
It got kind of like corny and self-aware as
Well,
the movies went on,
yeah.
but
Freddy
when it
Krueger
first came
was.
out, oof.
He's a spooky character, but
At least when you're young, that was
yeah,
real
that
scary.
franchise doesn't hold up too well though. So that's your first one. All right. I'm gonna go with the Blair Witch Project. I kind of couldn't think of a sixth one, so I threw this in there.
Oh, that was
I
pretty good.
watched
though.
it again recently. I feel like people go either way on this movie. Some
Yeah.
people don't appreciate it and they think it's boring, and the payoff isn't that good, and you only kind of wait until the very last scene. But
I like that tenseness it has.
it has an extremely like realistic tension. Like if someone said like the whole shtick with that movie when it came out was that like this is like is this real or is it not? Like
Yeah.
because it was one of the
really
first like
happened.
found footage movies, at least like more recent ones that do that thing. So like I don't know, like and even regardless of like the witch parts of it, I feel like just the tension of being lost like that, they play it off really well, and I just like I don't know. I mean, being lost in the woods sounds like a pretty terrifying thing. So
Yeah.
overall, good movie. I recommend it. You got to go into it feeding into the realism of it. Boom, Ryan, go.
Boom.
Number 2.
Gonna go with another classic, The Shining.
I think that's on all 3 of our lists, maybe.
I just thought of one I can replace with Shining, so it's cool.
All right. Well, it's
Yeah.
on my list. I can't go without The Shining.
Yeah.
The Shining is a very good movie.
The Shining, it's definitely a classic. I mean,
I almost put it on my list.
You also almost put Gremlins on your list.
Comedy horror.
The Shining.
I did.
Wow.
Yeah.
The
Gremlins,
Shining
what
is
a
just an
terrifying-
absolute classic. You know?
It is.
Even if you like take the horror out of it, I don't know. Like I'm all about good atmosphere, and The Shining has
Hell of an atmosphere.
a badass atmosphere.
Yeah.
Jack Nicholson, classic performance.
The whole thing
Yeah.
just feels dark.
Yeah, super frightening. All right,
Good.
Schultz.
It is Schultz.
Cabin in the Woods.
Oh my god,
Oh my god.
That was a cool movie.
that's
honestly.
a cool movie. You like that tongue-in-cheek shit, huh?
It was a little tongue-in-cheek. It was kind of like a send-up of like all these horror movie tropes. The premise was like very twisted and like strange too. That these monsters just like existed for this purpose, I guess.
Yeah, I knew that movie was like it had a shtick, but
Yeah.
even going into it, like I don't know, I just can't do like horror comedy. You know, it's just
I don't know if it was that comedic, really.
well,
though.
I think it was pretty silly at points. You know,
It was silly.
they had like comedy actors in it.
Yeah.
Who's that guy? That older guy who like works for the company. He's in like Step Brothers and shit. Like
Oh,
he's a comedy actor for the most part.
It's true.
But I don't know. Whatever.
It was ambitious. I think that's what I liked about it.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
So I'm gonna lump these next 2 in, but they are my 3 and 4. House of a Thousand Corpses and The Devil's Rejects. Rob Zombie's first movie, I think, was House of a Thousand Corpses, and that's like a perfect Halloween movie, aside from just being a good horror movie, because it happens on Halloween. And I mean, if you like horror, you've probably seen both of these, and they're pretty much Devil's Rejects is like a direct continuation of the first
It's
one.
a sequel,
and,
right?
yeah, Devil's Rejects. A lot of people like it a little bit more. I mean, it's a little bit more well done, and I don't know, the writing's a little bit better. But House of a Thousand Corpses, there's something about it. It stuck with me. Good movies.
I like the Rob Zombie movies. I think they're all pretty good.
He does pretty good. All right,
Amityville Horror.
which one? The remake?
I enjoy both.
I don't think I've seen all of the original first one.
I think that the whole story of it's just really interesting to me.
Yeah,
Pretty creepy.
it's true.
Building the coffins in the basement.
It's
and shit.
45 minutes from where I grew up.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is that
Damn.
apparently there's a train going by above us on the 3rd floor of this building. Lots of noises today. We got
You are
the
recordings under the tracks.
someone is rolling a train on the floor above us. We had multiple saws going off throughout this. People coming up and down the elevator for the hell of it. Cool. Wow.
They're trying to fuck with us, but they
Yeah.
can't. So fuck
We gotta get a better setup going on here.
Yeah, Amityville Horror. Good
Both of
story.
them?
Good movie. I like them
Good
both.
movie. Yeah, I mean,
Both good.
I saw the remake first because we're relatively young, you know.
Yeah, I saw the remake first.
I saw the remake in the theaters. I
liked
saw
it.
it recently. I still think it's good. Ryan Reynolds is actually pretty okay in it. It's pretty spooky. I think the special effects are well done, compelling. But yeah,
Yeah, hit a Schultz.
You gotta go with it.
It.
Fucking
Okay.
clown movie.
That movie is scary as
That
hell.
movie's
Yeah.
pretty scary. The thing is, I don't understand people who are afraid of clowns. Are you
Yeah,
afraid of
that's
clowns?
the thing. I'm not afraid of clowns at all.
Alright. That clown is pretty frightening.
But that kind
though.
of, but isn't the movie? Doesn't he like kind of kidnap kids and everything? And
I forget. Doesn't he come out of like bathroom drains and stuff?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he comes out of drains and
Yeah.
shit.
he like kidnaps kids, which was more of a real horror, which I think is where my real fears come from.
What fears?
It.
It's fear being burglarized.
Yeah.
It's Shelton's greatest fear is being
Because
burglarized.
you have
'Cause
so
I
much
saw-
valuable stuff, people are gonna break into your home.
Somehow I saw it when I was like, 5 or very young, and
I'm
still,
gonna break into your house one day
Yeah.
and fuck with you.
Do you think that's
I'll
the
kill you.
underlining?
You'll kill me.
But do you think that's like the underlining premise of it is
I don't know about that.
burglaries?
No,
Does he
definitely
steal
not.
anything?
No, but he like, I guess he doesn't. He steals children themselves.
Does he? I only saw
I
him
think so.
once a while ago, so I can't remember exactly.
That's the thing. I was never
what
scared of
happens in
clowns.
that.
I'm still not. But
Yeah,
Pennywise in that movie, frightening.
true.
Frightening shit.
Well, my next on the list was The Shining. Ryan already stole the thunder for that, but
So you're done. Oh,
no, I
you're
got
not
one
done.
more.
You're
I got one more.
All right.
But
so,
The Shining, I don't know. I can't say it enough. If you haven't seen it, see it. It's incredible. I don't know. It's atmosphere, wild atmosphere.
Like we said,
I'm gonna hit you with a little Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Which one?
another classic.
OG.
The OG.
OG.
It is a pretty revolutionary movie,
I thought
honestly.
the remake was pretty good too.
Yeah, the remake. I saw the remake when I was like 13, 14.
Yeah.
And I liked it then because that was kind of in an era the early 2000s. They started doing really gory, well done kind of horror stuff. And they did a
Yeah.
lot of remakes, and I liked that because I wasn't around for the original stuff. But later in my life, I've backtracked and checked out the OG stuff. And yeah, I mean, for that movie's super low budget.
Yeah.
I think the budget was crazy low for that movie, and I feel like there weren't really movies that were that extreme.
Very extreme.
So
Very good movie.
It's pretty tight, and the fact that it's based on kind of loosely based on Ed Gein stuff is kind of cool.
Yeah.
But
Silence of the Lambs,
Silence of the Lambs,
Yeah.
that's a good movie.
classic.
Is that Hello Clarice?
Yeah,
That's what Shelt says to when he matches with a girl on Tinder.
Every
He says,
time.
Hello Clarice.
Hello, Clarice.
Hello. It really works really well
Yeah.
for him.
Yeah, they like that.
They
like
do.
that.
That's a good
They,
introduction
they
for
don't.
you.
They don't call the police immediately.
Nope. Block his IP address.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for the Tinder
That's a
introduction.
good movie,
Silence of
but
the Lambs.
you're struggling with this horror concept a little bit.
No, I know it's more of a thriller,
It's
but it definitely has.
Gremlins.
Okay, Silence of the Lambs is like a thriller, but it has elements of horror and crime.
No, I agree. I mean, it's. I think it's a horror movie more or less.
Ish.
But
What
it's
about
definitely.
Beetlejuice? He says Beetlejuice too.
Yeah, let me
Comedy horror.
Quickly read off the
What
ones
you
you have
crossed
crossed out here.
Gremlins, Beetlejuice,
Donnie Darko.
Donnie Darko.
Donnie
These are-
Darko is a good movie, but again, I don't think that's a horror movie at all. Really,
These are movies with elements of horror, and they were in a list of top horror movies.
He Googled this shit.
Maybe.
This shit isn't even a real list. You Googled it.
So did you.
I didn't Google
I
shit.
saw your tabs.
Nah, you didn't see my fucking tabs.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
Wow, what else is crossed out?
Shaun of the Dead.
I feel like, see, that's the thing. That's horror comedy, but it applies. It's a zombie movie. That's
There's a lot of
you don't get
borderline
you don't
stuff
get
here.
more of a stereotypical horror premise.
I don't
than
want
a
to talk
zombie
about the
movie.
crossouts though. We got enough movies.
All right.
here.
Well, did you just hit us or what?
Silence of the Lambs.
All right,
It
fuck
turned
you.
into Hello Clarice.
All right, Tyler.
You say that. All right, my last one. This is controversial. We're gonna get a lot of
God.
controversy on this
Oh
one.
my
God.
god.
Not really, but
All
most
this-
people. I feel like most people don't appreciate this movie at all.
What was this, Scream 3?
Nope. Silent Hill. This is
I think I'd like that movie. I think.
yeah.
If I'm
It's
thinking of what it. I'm
Is
thinking
it
of
the movie
ba-
based on the video
Yep,
game?
it's based on a video game, and that's the thing. I think a
the
lot of
town that burned or something.
it's
or-
like it's based on a town in Pennsylvania where there's a coal fire going on underneath the town.
yeah.
They kind of the thing with anything based on anything, if it's based on a book, if it's based on another movie, you kind of need to just block out your kind of ideas of that previous work, because they're taking the ideas, and especially when you're changing from a book to a movie or a video game to a movie, there's no way you can recreate a video game perfectly into a movie format. But this movie has some incredible special effects. The atmosphere is insane and really engrossing, and some of the monsters, like the Pyramid Head from the game, they just are truly frightening. And even the story, I think, is actually pretty tight and cool. So give this movie a chance or another chance. And if you just let yourself get kind of engrossed by the atmosphere, I think you might have a good movie on your hands. But yeah, that's my 6.
The 6. I still got 2 left. How many you got left, Schultz?
2.
All right, I'm gonna hit you with Nosferatu.
Classic.
The original?
Yes.
Wow.
Great.
You've seen that?
Great movie. Yep. I saw it a couple months ago for the first time. Actually, it was a midnight movie in Boston.
You
Saw
loved it.
I liked it a lot.
I
It was
admittedly
really good.
watched that on YouTube.
Did you?
Yeah, but it
It's
is
really good.
like for a silent movie, like just
Yeah.
like the design of Nosferatu is pretty frightening, honestly. Like
Yeah.
it does hold up in its own way.
Yeah.
I think like the
liked it a lot.
silence kind of like almost adds to it a little bit.
Yeah, it adds to the creepiness of it.
Yeah. No, classic. That's an absolute classic.
Let's go, Schultz. Hit me with
28 Days Later.
That's a good one.
Yep.
That's a good movie. Again, that's one
That's
that I feel like
atmosphere.
people. Yeah, it's good atmosphere. I feel like people go one way or the other though, because
Yeah.
it's like fast zombies, and some people
Yeah.
say it's technically not a zombie movie. You know, because
Yeah.
like
Because
What
it's
are
just
they
a disease or whatever.
well, they
that-
call it like the rage in that movie, and it's supposed to be kind of almost like rabies that they have in that movie, and because they're fast. You know, they're not traditional slow walking zombies.
But I like how it kind of flip flops between this really dry, like tense atmosphere, and then all of a sudden it picks up and there's
Yeah,
bloodthirsty
the
freaks
tension is
chasing you.
pretty extreme.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Definitely a classic.
Sad moments, people dying.
Who cares about sadness?
There's some sadness
It's
in
all
28
about the
Days Later.
terror.
There is a lot of terror though. All right, Ryan.
Last one.
This is going to be a very controversial one.
All right.
Oh, here we go.
Greatest horror movie of all time,
All time?
a trauma film, Toxic Avenger. Great movie.
This is a cult classic.
Cult classic.
I think we probably saw it together for the
Yeah.
first time.
love
When
it.
we used to hang out like a lot.
Yeah.
I remember there was one point in time where they were all on like TV or something.
They were, yeah.
Like every single one of the Toxic Avenger movies. I feel like if you like punk and hardcore, you probably kind of like horror, so you probably like know about this movie or have seen it. But like, it's a pretty extreme experience. I don't
Very
know.
extreme
Is this movie supposed to be tongue in cheek, or is it just like?
yeah, I think so.
I can't tell. I can't tell if like they just made like such a goofy movie or like it was supposed to be tongue in cheek. But
It's great. It's about this nerd. I think he's like a janitor.
he's like, he's definitely like, I think he's a high school kid. I think they're all high school kids, but he like works after hours at like the gym or
yeah,
something.
he plays the classic nerd, and
Yeah.
he gets bullied, and he like falls into this like toxic waste, and that just happens to be in a truck.
Yeah, well, they're like bullying him, and like he's like backing up towards the window, and he smashes like out the
Yeah.
window and lands into a truck that's just like labeled like toxic waste.
Yep, and he turns into this really scary toxic monster man, and
But like it's like so like over the top, like I
It's
guess
ridiculous.
cheesy. Yeah, it's like super ridiculous, and like but some of the lines are like so ridiculous that they're like hilarious. Like the bully, like what's the bully's name too? Doesn't he have some insane like goofy
yeah,
name? I
I
forget his
forget.
name. It's something ridiculous.
the bully's
though.
hobby is going around and running over kids on their bicycles.
They kill young children with their car. But like honestly, it's kind of like a really funny exaggeration of like bro life though,
Kind
you
of,
know?
yeah,
It's like
yeah.
kind of funny and like true in a way though. I think that's the best part of that movie is like the bully insanity with that. But
It's very funny.
it is a good movie to watch with like friends, you know?
Yeah.
Clown on it a little bit.
Especially this time of year. It's probably playing on. It's probably on Netflix or something.
Yeah.
Which maybe I'll have to check that out again. It's that time of year.
Revisit it. Classic movie. All right, Schultz, number 6.
All right, The Others.
The Others.
Yeah.
What the fuck is that?
Wait.
Nicole Kidman, family, classic like
Oh,
haunted
yeah,
house.
yeah,
setup.
yeah. That's
Oh,
a,
shit.
that's
Let's
a
not give
pretty
away the
okay
ending,
movie. We actually
in
watched
case
that
you
in
haven't seen
art
it.
class when we were in
Yeah.
like 6th grade.
Yeah.
I don't know
I
why.
actually thought that was pretty good.
I'm
I'm also a sucker for twist endings. So
That movie is pretty good. Again, that's a good atmosphere, you know?
Yeah.
I do love movies with a good atmosphere and like, yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's a pretty good movie.
yeah,
I dig that. It's pretty it's got you kind of on edge the whole movie.
Yeah, I
so
forgot
I
about
can
that.
dig
yeah.
that.
I watched it with the lights off.
Wow.
My old
How'd you
house.
do that?
Watch it with the lights off. Damn, you're
Yeah.
so
I
brave.
know.
I know.
Wow. So that's it. That's 666, huh?
Yep.
666.
Across the board. Those are our 6 at least for me, those are the 6 movies those are 6 horror movies I really like and
Yeah.
appreciate. So
Yeah.
Same.
I'm sure if I had more time to think about it and really sit on it and rewatch movies, I would come up with other ones. But those are good ones. I mean, I guess this is our favorite / recommendations. So check them out. And
check it out.
that's I think that's all the spooky Halloween content we have.
Yeah, I think that's spooky enough.
Pretty spooky.
Come to my party.
Come to his party. Buy our records now. That's it.
That's it.
Bridge 9 Podcast, episode number 2. In the books.
In the books.
It's been real, everybody.
Spooky Halloween episode. Go out, trick or treat. Don't hurt anybody.
Have a good Halloween.
Make sure the candy isn't opened beforehand and some weird old guy didn't poison it.
Yeah, don't accept apples.
Don't eat a razor blade.
Don't be a dick.
Be cool. Peace.